What's up, BookTube? It is Monty, and today we are doing a haul video. This is not the video that I thought that I would be putting out, but I also said that I would be doing quarterly hauls, and this is like a third of the way through the year, so like this is like the trimester haul, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing here. My last haul, I think, was in like September, so some of these books are things that I received for Christmas that I don't remember putting in a haul video, because I didn't make a haul video after like September or something. And I wasn't like vlogging, so I don't know if they got like wound up in a video. So some of these I might have already talked about. Some of these I know I've talked about in related videos to things. So some of these, if there is a review for the book already up on the channel, I'll leave that linked in the cards, so you can go on and you can watch that there. I'm going to start with the books that were gifted, and we're going to go from most recent to like things that I might have already talked about, just to be on the safe side. So like these literally showed up, I want to say on like Tuesday. They did have a note. They just said from a subscriber. So if you are that subscriber, I did receive the package. That's kind of what prompted me to make this video, because I initially tried throwing it into a reading vlog and it just wasn't, it didn't work. I don't think it worked. I was not well integrated. So first they sent me one of my favorite graphic novels. What was that? It had to be like 2019 now. Exit Stage Left, the Snagglepuss Chronicles. But it's like McCarthyism, the Lavender Scare wrapped up with some anthropomorphic things. I think if you've watched and enjoyed some like BoJack, then like you would kind of get like, you know, we got some fun things going on there. And I just really enjoyed it. It's a lot shorter than I remember, but I might reread it just because I do highly recommend this. Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. So Darcy like gives out some love advice, and one of the notes she gets is try to like win over this girl, but she also has a crush on this person, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. So it's like sort of the half of it vibes, but I believe this did come out before the half of it, and it's also not, you know, not Asian, so I don't know, but I did enjoy the half of it. So I'm hoping that I will enjoy Perfect on Paper. Next, we have None Shall Sleep, which is like thriller vibes. It's a period piece. I want to say it's set in the 80s. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to this. We Are Totally Normal by Rahul Kanakia. I believe that is correct. What this actually is about, I don't really remember, other than it's a male coming of age type deal. So thank you again if you are that subscriber. The Amazon package arrived. I did receive it, and I'm eternally grateful. Next is a book I was not grateful to receive, and that is Improvement Does Not Matter Itself, The Great Hunt, Book 2 in the Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. There's a whole hour-long discussion about this book. I'm not a fan. I do not like it. 12 out of 10. It's a wrap. Next are things that I got for Christmas. These are the things I definitely do not remember talking about, but I have read all of them now. So I will try to leave them linked in the cards or down below somewhere where you can find me talking about these items. But the first thing I got sent was My Brother's Husbands, volumes 1 and 2 by Gengoro Tagame. This is like the most wholesome shit you will ever read in your life. I have not seen anyone who's read this not love it, because it's too great. Kana, My Sweet Little Child. I'm gonna have to reread this too. So I got both volumes of that. I love to see it. We have an arc of Anna K. We love to see it. I don't collect arcs per se, but I am happy to have an arc of my favorite book of 2020, along with the Book of the Month edition. And then I was sent the Owl Crate edition of Legendborn. I was not the biggest fan of Legendborn, but you know, this was a present, so it's not gonna go anywhere because it was a present. And I'm curious to see what they do with the book 2. But the more I think about book 1, I initially gave it 3 stars, and then I was, you know, in a Zoom with Erin from Booked and Busy, and she talked me down to a 1 star because there was just some stuff in that book that was questionable, was definitely questionable. So that's all I have to say about gifted books. The rest are books that I purchased at some point this year. I think this is everything. Don't hold me to that. But this feels like, oh, I guess before we get to this year, I can't remember if I talked about this in like a haul video, but I did purchase In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. And I think if this wasn't marketed as a romance, I would have, appreciated it more, because it's definitely not. But for what it is, I did enjoy. I talked about it in my December wrap-up, so I'll leave a link again somewhere to that. I don't remember if I hauled it, but I did buy it. I do own it, and I did enjoy it. I think that if it hadn't been marketed as a romance, I think it might have been more successful, because it's not really a romance. And when you're reading it thinking it's a romance, a lot of the stuff just seems like stuff you would not want to read for. So now we are into to books that I purchased in 2021. We are going to start off with this one, because I believe, if I remember correctly, this was the first book that I bought this year, and that was Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I didn't know they made the new editions in this little hard, I think these covers are kind of ugly. I do prefer those old ones, but I didn't know they made this new cover in hardback, so that was something new. I picked it up on eBay. I felt pretty good for myself. I spent like $2 on it. And it arrived. This is a thing that I own now. I did not reread. I have read this once. I did not reread it as I intended for the start of the show, because I couldn't bring myself to purchase the rest of the Grishaverse. But maybe I will, and I will continue, and these will sit on my shelf in this lovely edition that I thought I was buying the old edition in hardback. But again, I guess that is as hard as they were saying to find. But it's fine. It was $2. I'm not too pressed about it. Then I have The Sky Blues by Robbie Couch. This is a small town in Michigan. I believe he decides he's going to run for prom king, or his prom date dumps him. Something sad of that nature. I'm looking forward to reading it. Then I have one of the best books of the year, Yoke by Miss Mary H.K. Choi. This book, it just slaps so hard. It was the highlight of that first weekly reading vlog that I did. It was the only book that week that I read that I actively enjoyed. And I personally loved to see it. It was great. It was great. We have June and Jane. June as the sister that has pretty much everything together. She's, the firstborn in the family. She has a nice job. But this book deals with themes of cancer, and it deals with disordered eating. It's probably the better way to phrase that. Sisterly bonding after, being, I won't say torn apart, but being distant from one another. We have a fun little, a family trip back home. So the book is set in New York, where we get scenes of them back in Texas. It's just great from start to finish. I loved everything about this book. Next is a book that I was determined to buy. I saw it at the used bookstore, and I was like, I want to own that. Why that is, I honestly don't know, but I do. I own it. So maybe for Nonfiction November. But it's I Want My MTV, The Uncensored Story of the Music Revolution by Craig Marks and Rob Tenenbaum. I don't know why I wanted a 500-page book on the story of MTV that is told a lot in this little interviewee format that Daisy Jones is. But I think when I saw it, I was like, my favorite book is, not my favorite book, but I did really enjoy Daisy Jones. So maybe a nonfiction, actual history would be fun. I don't know, but I own it. I'm excited to own it. It made my day, so I'm happy. Next, I have a book that I tried listening to the audio for, and I couldn't get through it because it had an accent that I couldn't speed up. So if I can't speed up the audiobook, I'm not going to listen to it. And it is Say Nothing, A True Story of Murder and Memory in Northern Ireland by Patrick Radden Keefe. So I don't know exactly what I'm getting myself into, but we're here. Next is a book that I bought mainly because I think that it's going to be one of my like rich people mess books, and that is Mrs. by Caitlin Macy. I also am just like kind of here for the wallpaper cover. I don't know. I haven't decided. When I bought it, I definitely was. But now that I'm holding it up and I have to like endorse this cover, I don't know if I actually do. But again, I think it's supposed to be like a high society sort of book. I don't think it's a period piece. I think this is modern, or at least modern to the time that it was written, which isn't that long. It was like 2000 something. So I'm looking forward to this one. Next is a book that I almost bought in maybe it was 2019, might have been 2020, and I decided not to purchase. I decided I was going to not do that. But I'm happy because I did, I like this cover a lot more than the original cover. I don't know if that's like not nice, but I have Pachinko by Min Jin Lee, the Book of the Month edition from my lovely used bookstore. And I am excited. I'm excited to read this. I'm potentially buddy reading this with Erin from Booked and Busy, so maybe that'll be a thing that happens. It probably won't be, but you never know. This is a story, I think it's intergenerational, set in Korea. Historical fiction vibes, that's all I know. Sometimes I go to the used bookstore and I'm looking on the shelf and I see like a nice thick book and I'm like, that's the one I want to buy. I don't know why, because half of these do just stay on my shelf, but in my brain I am still like that middle school person who is like, I want the thickest book. And so when you can find a really thick book at a used bookstore that's in decent condition, it's like, it feels like you're getting more bang for your buck, you know, like, oh, $8, but it's 3 million pages, beautiful. I also bought this because I figured, why not? And it is Blonde by Joyce Carol Oates, which is a fictionalized version of the life of Marilyn Monroe. Why do I need this book? I don't know. I don't know why I need this, but I own it and it's here. Technically, I bought one of these last year. It was like a pre-order situation, but whatever. First up is Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, and then the pre-ordered tour edition of the book. So yes, I do own 3 copies of this. What about it? I love Nesta. We knew that. I appreciated that for this book, they did not give us Bible-thin pages, and we have a nice chunky chunker. So it's a self-contained story. I don't know if you would have to have read the trilogy to read this. You probably should. Like, things will make sense because Sarah J. Maas does do that thing that I sort of hate, wherein the author, you know, gives us all that background. But I did love it. I have a whole little review for it, so I'll leave that linked somewhere. But these are some of my favorite books, and they're orange. They fit. So far, all of my favorite books of the year have a different color so far. And I'm hoping that when I do my best books of 2021 video, it'll be a nice little rainbow. I mean, that would mean that there's only like 7 or 8 books in that video, but I think it's gonna work. I'm holding out faith. Every time I see a book and I see that it fits into the rainbow, I'm like, you might be that color in my rainbow. You might get to be that book. And so far, Court of Silver Flames has orange, just the market cornered there. This is also why I did not want to do this video, because I did really like the idea of dropping this surprise vlog. But y'all, I bought these books a week ago now, because it's Sunday when I'm filming this. You guys, this is going up on Monday. I bought these books a week ago. I was like, oh, it's going to take me no time to read those. And then I did no reading this week. So the reading vlog is coming. It'll be after this haul video and probably after my discussion of the Shadow and Bone show, which might end up being a bit of a long video. I'm currently rewatching to like take actual notes, and then I'll be referencing my Twitter thread, but that has nothing to do with these books. These are probably some of the most expensive books I've ever purchased, and I kind of hate myself for it. But we have From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is just the dust jacket because, again, I'm supposed to be reading this, and I don't want to pull it out of my bag. So this book, as well as the sequel, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. And when I bought these on Sunday, I had no idea that A Crown of Gilded Bones was coming out. And so in that reading vlog, I was like, oh, maybe this is like perfect timing. I'll get to buy book number 3. And it's been out of stock at my Barnes & Noble, which is the only place you can get the hardcover. And I don't want to do like order online, ship to me, because no. So maybe that was also a slightly demotivating factor. But I do own these now. I do like how this cover feels. Like it feels really nice. I can't lie. It's great. But with that said, I only have 5 more things to talk about, and then we are done. We are in the home stretch. First, I got Prep by Curtis Sittenfeld. I saw this at the used bookstore. I already owned 2 of Curtis Sittenfeld's other books, Eligible and American Wife, and I thought if I had Prep, I could do another one of those. I want to come like a deep dive reading vlog, but maybe. This is kind of where I'm at right now. So I might do Prep, Eligible, and An American Wife in a reading vlog. Just because, why not? I would not be reading. I don't think I'm ever going to read that weird alternate history Hillary Clinton fanfic that Curtis Sittenfeld that they wrote. But her first 3 books, I think I will. So look forward to that at some point this year. The other reading vlog that I want to do, because I started these in 2019 after I finished these books up here, and I really was enjoying them, but I had to return the audio to Hoopla, so I didn't finish them. But now I own them. And so that is Burn for Burn, Ashes to Ashes, and Fire with Fire by Jenny Han and Savon Vivian. And there was something about, I think we follow 3 girls in this small town, and I think they have like a common enemy, or they agree to like help each other with their common enemy. I didn't get that far into the audio narration, to be honest, the first time I picked them up, but I am definitely very excited to get here. I'm excited. I've wanted to read these for I wouldn't say quite a while, but I do remember back when like these were first coming out and they were in Barnes & Noble still in hardback, and I would see them and I'm like, that looks like an interesting series. Like that's like just the cover gives you that's a Montgomery story. So I'm looking forward to this. Jenny Han has let me down. They have, because I did read The Summer I Turned Pretty. That book was garbage. I thought that was going to be my next Jenny Han. No. But I have started Burn for Burn in the past, and I know that I was enjoying it just as much as To All the Boys. So I'm assuming that Burn for Burn will be the same. And then the most recent book that I bought was literally just yesterday. And so that is Wild Women and the Blues by Denny S. Bryce. This is partially set in like 1925 in like the jazz scene in Chicago. And then in 2015, where I think there's going to be, we're learning about Honorée Delacour. She's like coming into the scene, and then this film student, Sawyer Hayes, interviewing her. So again, more of that Daisy Jones vibe, more of that Evelyn Hugo vibe. So I'm excited to read this. Also, the cover it does kind of serve. It just a little. It's a minor serve. I do like it. So I'm not going to try and hold up all of the books. No, that's what we're not going to do. But thanks for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, leave this emoji down there. Let me know some of the books you've picked up recently. What books, maybe that haven't come out yet, if you're a pre-order person. I'm eagerly anticipating my copy of Ace of Spades. As we all know, let the countdown begin. But like I said, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys again soon with another video. But until then, until next time,